video we're going to go over two different types of networks, client-server and peer-to-peer. In a client-server network, all of the devices are connected to a central server. As we've been over before, central doesn't mean it's literally in the middle, it just means that all of the devices on the network connect directly to this server. So this could be that the server's on the top floor and all of the devices are spread over the other floors underneath, and it doesn't matter, but they all connect directly to the server. With a client-server network, the problem with this is that if the server breaks or fails in some way, the entire network goes down. This places a large reliance on the network manager keeping the server up and running. However, with a client-server network, it's relatively straightforward to install updates to software. You would install it on the server and push it out to all the devices. It's also relatively straightforward to take backups because you would just take a backup of the server. It also means that any user accounts or permissions can be set centrally on the server and updated once, rather than having to update all the different devices. It also means that only one copy of the file will be saved on the server, so it also reduces the amount of storage space. The alternative to this type of network is a peer-to-peer network. In a peer-to-peer network, all of the devices are equal on the network and there is no server. So because of this, there isn't a reliance on that server failing or keeping running because there isn't one. If one of the devices on the network fails, it's not a problem, the data can then just be sent via a different route. Backing up files is also more complicated because there can be duplicate copies of files. So there could be many different copies of the same file on the different devices on the network. Another problem with a mesh network is that it could run slowly if lots of devices are trying to access the same file or sending a lot of traffic through one device. This doesn't happen on the server because instead of the traffic going between the devices, it goes directly to the server. When setting up a network, it's always important to consider how expensive it will be and how easy it is to set up. A client-server network requires a certain level of expertise to set up and can also be quite expensive. A mesh network doesn't have this problem. It's quite straightforward to set up a mesh network and to keep it running.
In this exam question, Hugh thinks that his network is set up as a client-server network. State the role of a personal computer and a server in a client-server network. So what you need to do for this question is you're going to get 1 mark for explaining the role of his personal computer in this situation and also the role of the server. So we should know that the personal computer sends and receives requests from the server. Okay, so to get 1 mark, you could say that Hugh's personal computer sends any requests to the server. What the server does in this situation is it takes his requests and it processes them and gives him the data and information that he needs. It also manages any clients and accounts on the network, so it actually allows Hugh to log on in the first place, and it stores all of the files in a central location so that Hugh can access them. So in actual fact, there are quite a few different things you could write to get your marks, and it doesn't really matter what, as long as you refer back to Hugh in your answer and clearly state what his role is in the network from his personal computer, but also what the server's role in the network is as well.